Alright guys, got another quick video here for you, and I hope this one will be quick because there's really not a lot of visuals I can show you. I'm basically just going to show you pieces of the article that was originally posted by Game Informer. And shout outs to them, man, where they posted the recommitment to franchise mode article, some weeks ago. And I'll put the link to the article in the description so you guys have it. But as you can see here in the footage, man, I'm just kind of scrolling through. I will be posting, or post up images from that article, and you can kind of read it in here if you can see it. If not, like I said, go to their website and you'll be able to see it. But basically what I want to talk about here, man, is, have we seen all that the scenario engine can do? Have we seen that from the beta? You've heard me be vocal. You've heard a lot of other people be vocal in regards to the lack of depth in franchise mode, and obviously we understand why that is. The article says it itself, a recommitment, and that would mean they would have to recommit to franchise mode for years to come. It wouldn't just be Madden 20. Madden 20, you would expect it to be, okay, show us where you're going to start with your commitment, and then we need to see the commitment continue in 21, 22, 23, 24, etc., etc. Right? But the biggest thing that they're introducing in terms of regular franchise mode in Madden 20 is the scenario engine. Okay, the scenario engine is supposed to create these dynamic, outcomes and, trying to replicate the situation that we saw with Le'Veon Bell, with my Pittsburgh Steelers, keeping the story going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's supposed to replicate also situations like Antonio Brown, what a mess that was. And sidebar, I hope my Steelers can rebound this year and be a better team. But, let me get off of the soapbox there. But, from the beta, we didn't see that. And it makes me wonder, okay, maybe we're paying too much attention to the beta. I'm pretty sure that everything wasn't put in the beta in terms of the scenarios, just understanding how the process works, with working behind the scenes with the developers. But still, I'm cautiously optimistic. I still got to be a little cautious with it because I don't know. We've seen in the past where, Madden has developed the game in pieces, and we all remember, the information that we were told by an Andrew Wilson back when Madden 25 launched, about all of these capabilities of the players and the war in the trenches and these numerous calculations and the 400 catching animations. We never really saw that. To me, it was more so, it was forecasting. It was basically saying what the engine is able to do. This is when they were introducing the Ignite engine, right? So I have to look at this with a question mark and say, okay, are some of these things future projects, or are we going to see these things in Madden 20? And that's what remains to be seen. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more scenarios that will launch. But again, some of these things I'm really going to pay attention to, man. And just to look at a few pieces of information here in terms of, I'll read a few bits of this article, and this is coming from Mike Young, the creative director now. And he basically says the scenario engine is intended to create dynamic storylines week to week based on how you're playing, who you are, your record, your stats, and the personalities around you. That's a big one for me. Personalities around you. Okay? It says it fires off stories that could be 1 week stories, but there are also several storylines that are branching. That is also interesting to me. Again, I didn't really see that in the beta. In the beta it was very vanilla. And again, I'm going to reserve judgment until we see the full product and we know that franchise mode now is a live service, so I'm pretty sure they'll be updating these things. That is what they also have been saying, that we'll be able to update storylines and such in franchise. But like I said, I want to pay attention to all of this, man, because in the past we have been told certain things would be in Madden, or that Madden was able to do certain things, and a lot of us feel like it never came into fruition. Alright, now here's another piece I want to read here. It says, if a star player found out he was placed on the trade block, how could he react? If you cut ties with a future Hall of Famer in favor of a hotshot rookie, what would that do to the locker room? See, it's making it seem as if we're going to see these things play out dynamically in franchise mode. Now here's another one. The offseason presents dynamic obstacles to overcome as well. If you franchise tag a guy, there should be a risk that he'll just retire or demand a trade. This is what Mike Young is saying. Says you should feel that weight when you are making these choices instead of sorting a spreadsheet and going, he's not that good. There's got to be a risk reward to this stuff to really make you feel the immersion of it. If you're the type of GM who doesn't like surprises, this may affect how you approach drafting. Maybe you'll pass on a temperamental player with more potential upside just for the peace of mind, knowing that your pick won't lead a revolt against your leadership. Do you hear this stuff? These are a lot of different things, man, that could make franchise mode very interesting. But like I said, it's hard because of, to be fair, the reputation, unfortunately, that Madden has gained for the lack of depth in franchise. It's hard for some of us to really think these things are going to happen, right? And here's one last one before I get out of here. It says, in regards to the locker room situation that I read earlier, it says recreating these scenarios required the creation of a personality system. Let me say that again. The creation of a personality system that gives the players some degree of agency. Team players like Julian Edelman may be more likely to take roster disruptions and drops in their usage rate in stride, but more volatile personalities may trigger crises that coaches and general managers need to resolve. Do you hear this? Again, I will end it with this. It's hard for some of us to be overly excited because of the reputation, unfortunately, that Madden has had in terms of franchise mode. And also, it still bears the question, are we talking more future? Or are we talking Madden 20? We will really see these type of things play out. And my real question is, how will they play out? Because according to what we saw in the scenario engine, of course, it's messages or what have you, and I'm cool with that. But I didn't see any different, addition to contract structures or how you could, do certain things with the contract. So how is that going to work? If a guy is to hold out, how does it play out? If a guy, is forcing a trade, all this kind of stuff, how does it play out? Because again, I didn't see any upgrades in that area, at least not in the beta. And I would think if there was a new recruiting system, I'm still referring to NCAA. If there was a new scouting or free agency type of system, it sounds like to me that would have been advertised. So I don't know, guys. Like I said, this all sounds good. It is good to see that they are at least committing, as they say, recommitting to franchise mode. But obviously it's going to be, more than the first year iteration. I just need to see this stuff play out. I just need to see what's being advertised actually play out in the game and not, us scratching our heads and wondering if this stuff actually exists. All right, so that's all I got for you in this particular video, man. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, cut on your notifications, hit that like button, and we'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, let me know what you think. Peace.